I buy you. Water on my wrist like a bayou. VVS diamonds in my side tooth. Unless you tryna die too. I'm a money-making tycoon. Make some noise for Key Glock. Just dropped his album, Glocaveli. The Wolves did beat the Warriors 102-97. Iman Shumpert wants Teyana Taylor to go to jail for 20 days for discussing their divorce on social media. I pray that everything gets, resolved with that, and let's not send Teyana Taylor to jail. That Tory Lanez was stabbed in prison and rushed to a hospital nearby. Hope that Tory's okay. Prayers up. Shout out to Sunstar. Black-owned wrestling league called the Fourth Rope. Make some noise for Westside Gunn. Boom, 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 boom. Glock know what it is. Come on. Hey, I'm a money-making tycoon.
Hello, Tasmania Show.
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 You already know what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Flipping my chips, yeah. I'm getting rich. Running up digits, counting up six. My money flipping, let's take a trip. Standing on business, tycoon rich. Wagwan gang, back in this thing. You already know what it is. You tuned into the Tasmania Show podcast. I was hyped. I was like, I'm gonna use a different sound effect because I feel like I just do this all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get better at my little sound effects and everything. But yes, consistency. You feel me? We're back. Consistency. It feels exciting, man. Greatness is reserved for those who get up and do the same shit every day. That's what I've realized. If you want to be great, get used to waking up and doing the same damn thing over and over. It's not the person that can master a whole bunch of moves. It's can you wake up and perfect that one move? And, it's just laying one brick at a time, waking up, just doing it, and demonstration speaks louder than conversation. But I'm not going to get up here preaching. This is not a tycoon talk. This is the Tasmania Show. And this episode of the Tasmania Show is brought to you in part by Tide Water, the best natural black-owned spring water. You know I'm from VA, and you know it's something in the water. VA is for visual artists. I'm from the city of the greats. You know what I'm saying? We be dripping like a lake. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chris Brown, Trey Songz, Missy Elliott, Timberland. I'm going to rep my city every chance I get. You know I'm from the Tidewater. So, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all lock in. And if you are interested in advertising, if you want to do a commercial, if you want to do a mukbang, if you want to do a vlog, some media coverage, a podcast interview, you name it. If you want to do some business with the Tasmania Show, holla at me. You know what I'm saying? You could just email me at tasmaniashow@gmail.com. Hit me on TikTok, Instagram. You know what I'm saying? We can talk business, And then speaking of business, because you guys know that I am a real estate investor, right? So if you want to tap in and if you got some off-property markets, off-market properties, you know what I'm saying? If you have anything that's a fix and flip, you know what I'm saying? Holla at me. I'd love to take something and make it beautiful. One man's trash is another man's treasure. You know what I'm saying? I like to beautify it, uplift it, give it a BBL. That's what I'm doing in the housing community right now. From the hood to the hills, Taz Tycoon will get you right. So if you want to tap in with me, you know what I'm saying, and you got a property you want me to look at, hit me at taz@flipper.io. That's TAZ at flipper, FLIPPUR.io. Or you could text me. I'm still remembering my number by heart, y'all. That's 814-648-9403. You could text me. Holla at me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? We can have a house party. If you got some properties, open houses, holla at me. So I took care of all of that. I'm excited. Like I said, I had a very productive weekend. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Analog Dope. I went by their bookstore, black-owned bookstore. If you go through there, let them know Taz Tycoon sent you. I went with this author that I'm working with named Mr. Wilson. He has a book called Junebug, so make sure you tap in. It's a book about a guy from Mississippi. His name is Junebug. He's a doctor, and, I might be a book agent now. You know what I'm saying? I'm booked and busy. I know I got a lot of hustles. I'm a tycoon. I wear a lot of hats. I'm a money-making tycoon. Shout out to Key Glock. You know what I'm saying? That was not the right sound effect. It was supposed to be that. Like I said, I'm getting used to it. I said I was going to get better. That was not great the way I did that, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's cool, but that's the one thing about YouTube, you know what I'm saying? I want it raw and uncut, you know what I'm saying? Uncut, just direct. We ain't worried about how things look. We just about doing the work. But anyways, like I said, I'm a money-making tycoon and I wear a lot of hats. So let's go ahead, you know what I'm saying, and make some noise for Key Glock. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Key Glock. Key Glock just dropped his album, Glocaveli, a play off of Tupac's Machiavelli. I think it's Machiavelli. But yeah, Key Glock, man, amazing artist, you know what I'm saying? Like, love his music, love his independence. I love the press run that he's been on. Let's Go was crazy. That music video, I think it had Effie in it from Power. Ooh, almost messed that one up. But
Yeah, Key Glock, man, like he the type of dude, like I like how Key Glock moves. You know what I'm saying? Key Glock be out the way. Like I feel like that's how I am. Like he don't do a lot of the friendly, just be outside with everybody. And don't get it twisted, right? I do vlogs, so let's not get it twisted. I think that when you're an entertainer and you have to do what you need to do, that's one thing. But then just in general, like he not mixy. He could do a whole tape by himself, hold his own weight. Like it's not a lot of people that you can make a whole tape and you're entertained from top to bottom. You know, so I've been watching this press run. His press run's been pretty good. The album, man, the album sounds crazy. I was listening to it over the weekend. And like I said, I've been telling y'all that I'm thinking about other things that I want to do, whether it's going to be for Twitch and then I put it on YouTube. But I've been asked a couple of times to do some book reviews and to do some album reviews. So I think that I definitely want to do a listening party, I guess you'd say, for Glocaveli, for Key Glock, and I want to do one for DDG for Blame the Chat, and a book review for Goshan Big Hire. Goshan Big Hire. That was dyslexic as hell. Big Sean Go Higher. So trying to switch up the content. If there's something y'all want to see me do, let me know. But like I said, the album, flawless, love the independence. Let me take a sip of my Tide water. And if my tongue is green, y'all, I had a matcha from Cafe Lola. Shout out to them. I'll be doing a mukbang with them soon. But yeah, so the album was incredible, man. It's just the production always hits, you know what I'm saying? Take Keith on that John, like, you know, and he ain't got no features. Like, well, hold on, let me double check before I say that. I believe he doesn't have any features on this one. Glocaveli. Like I said, I listened to it. I'm gonna tell y'all some of my favorites before I get into the one I'm gonna play. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Paper Route Empire came out May 2nd. Man, well, I will say I love Watch the Throne. That's a really great song. I like Glocaveli. I like Badu. I love the whole album for real. It's no skips. Like I love the samples and the production, and I love the Glocaveli. My baby, like it's just I love the production. He said that, and when I think his interview with Angela Yee, he said he wanted to have a more mature sound. You know what I'm saying? I could see where he was going at with this, and I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, I know Key Glock and Young Dolph, rest in peace, you know what I'm saying, for Young Dolph, you know, first and foremost, Paper Route Empire. I think that a lot of the things that I wish Young Dolph could be around, you know what I'm saying, to see the fruits of his labor and like the things that, you know, the seeds that he planted. You know, I was watching an interview and they had asked Key Glock, what's the biggest lesson that Young Dolph taught him? He said he taught him the power of giving, you know, and I think the true measurement of a person is when you give, when you don't have. And a lot of times in life, you know, takers recognize givers, you know, and you have to have some discernment with your giving. I know sometimes I've felt burnt out because I'm like, man, I've given too much. I don't think that you can ever give too much. You got to make sure that you don't give to a point till you burn out. I've seen that with my family and close friends. So I don't think that it's cool. Sometimes we get jaded because we'll give to somebody and then we'll be like, yo, that person didn't give back. One thing about giving, reciprocity and karma doesn't always come back from the person that you give to. So for Key Glock to say Young Dolph taught him how to give, and people would always look at Young Dolph and wonder how he was able to obtain so much success because he gave more than he asked for. And I feel like in life, that's the one thing you can control. You can't always control what you get out of life, you know what I'm saying, but you can control what you give. You know, so that's kind of like a tycoon talk. So that was something that I thought was really dope to hear. And how you put the album together. I think Key Glock said that he had taken a year off, you know, to like really focus on his family, his daughter, you know, put things together. Yes, so I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, Key Glock, okay, let me read this right here. So Key Glock is now in a joint venture or partnership. He's not officially signed, but he's with Republic. So let's see what I'm saying. Let's make some noise for Key Glock for that. They had asked him in an interview, you know, how do they think Young Dolph would feel about it? And I think Young Dolph had kind of gave him the cosign that, like, the whole independent way, that was always Young Dolph's way, not necessarily Key Glock. So some people was trying to give him slack, like, yo, you're supposed to stay down till you come up. I think it's amazing when you can see, even Cameron was talking about this, like, once we're in an era right now where you can go and get the bag yourself. You just got to be creative and figure out how to do it. From people like Russ, from La Russell to Tech Nine, the Slim Thugs, rest in peace, Mac Miller, the Young Dolphs, the Key Glocks. like when you find a way you have to put a lot of your own money up. Even K-Camp, I've been watching a lot of his interviews, lately, and just about how to navigate. It's like when you really believe in yourself, are you gonna put that bread up for that music video, and just being able to figure out how to negotiate and leverage other ways of moving and grooving. Like I think Carrie Hilson is independent, Usher's independent. So in an era where you can do direct to consumer, you got to figure out how to stand out. And I feel like the industry is going to make a huge shift ever since DTG did the Blame the Chat album. And I want to say also too, shout out to Jay Cinco. I know that's random. Jay Cinco is a YouTuber that I follow. I think it's like a Sharkathon where he's doing like a competing for different girls and challenges and everything. Whoever wins the challenge gets to go on a trip with Jay Cinco. But again, I'm kind of all over the place, but let me just go ahead and read this from Republic Records. It says, Key Glock is back with Glocaveli, a statement album that cements his status as one of hip-hop's most unstoppable forces and cements his rise from Memphis star to a household name with 8 billion streams. You know what I'm saying? Make some noise for that. That is not nothing slight. With 8 billion streams from Key Glock, come on now, and multiple platinum records, he built an empire on his own terms. No features, no shortcuts. Just talent, confidence, and authenticity. Whether it's Key Glock's raw lyricism or impeccable production, Glocaveli is a testament to resilience, reinvention, while staying true to yourself. Make some noise for Key Glock. And in honor of Key Glock, Glocaveli, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to play y'all the song, you know what I'm saying? I've been rocking out to Bayou. Water on my wrist like a bayou. And my side tooth. Try do, unless you tryna die too. I'm a money making tycoon. Woo. My own moves. Damn. Food. Ratchet. Woo. Damn. Whoa. Head. Damn. Woo! I buy you. Water on my wrist like a bayou. BVS diamonds in my side tooth. Don't try do, unless you tryna die too. I'm a money making tycoon. Woo! On moves. Damn. I'm a money making tycoon. Key Glock know what it is? Come on. Hey, don't try do, unless you tryna die too. I'm a money making tycoon. Make my own moves. Woo! You know what I'm saying? Let's make some noise for Key Glock. You know what I'm saying? Badu by Key Glock. A whole vibe. I'm a money making tycoon. You already know what it is, man. Really, really enjoyed that song. You know what I'm saying? He had to, listen, it's the year of the tycoon. You know what I'm saying? A tycoon is a boss or a wealthy person that's getting to the bag. You gotta have multiple streams of income. I know you heard Future, Key Glock, you know what I'm saying? Her, Taz Tycoon, your lady's favorite rapper. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Key Glock. I love the vibe. You know what I'm saying? Such a classic song. J. Cole flipped that too. I think Friday Night Lights, Too Deep for the Intro. I rapped over that. That's such a classic. And I love how he kept it so Memphis. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to Key Glock, Glocaveli album, amazing. Like I said, Watch the Throne? Was that the joint? And I love the cover art too, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Key Glock, love everything that he's doing. Also too, I guess I'm gonna use a new sound effect. I like that. That sounds real New Yorkish. So I want to say major shout out to Jada Kiss and Fat Joe. They just launched their new podcast called Joe and Jada. Man, I will say, funny enough, I didn't realize how funny Fat Joe and how funny Jada Kiss was. I feel like in an era where, of course, you think about New York rap, right? Like, I know a lot of hood niggas, like thug niggas that are funny as shit, right? But like, if you don't know them, you know what I'm saying? It's like, for example, like, to give context, right? Like I'll watch like Lil Mendices on YouTube, right? And watch his pops, right? And it's like, when you look at Mendices, I don't know him, I never met him. You know what I'm saying? He seems very serious. But when Lil Mendices does pranks on him and stuff, you can see like the humor is. So I always thought it's dope because, I come from a family of hustlers and stuff, and they just never smiled a lot. You know what I'm saying? I can definitely say that. So a lot of seriousness, but why am I drawing a blank about what the hell I'm talking about? Fat Joe and Jada Kiss. Boom, my bad. I was going off on a tangent. But yeah, Joe and Jada. So they just launched their podcast, and I think it's dope because I didn't realize how funny Fat Joe was. Like, I think I've seen him host things, and I think even 50 Cent, when he did the Power with Fat Joe, like after series, like Fat Joe would make like a really great talk host, like, show host, kind of even like a Carisha. Like you see certain people that can translate into media, that can go from rapper to personality, like a Nori, you know what I'm saying? Or someone like a Cam and a Mace. Like if you're great with conversation, and Jadakiss, I didn't know how funny he was too. I think the versus battle, like seeing him and hearing him on different interviews. So I'm excited. Like I said, I just saw, let me actually see, I don't know if they've launched more than one episode, but I like the logo. The logo looks like the Straight Outta Compton logo. First episode, Joe and Jada. Yep. So it says first episode was about Drake versus Kendrick beef, comeback from the Knicks, Met Gala reaction, Joe and Jada. So I'm excited to see how this pans out, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that two real dope hip hop lyricists. It's exciting when you got people that are like from the sport that can actually spit. So yeah, they've only dropped their first episode. Everything else has been clips. See what I'm saying? So make some noise for Joe and Jada, for the Joe and Jada podcast. Really excited to see how that pans out and everything. Okay, let me see. Moving along for the Tasmania Show podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your post notifications. You already know what it is. So this one isn't like, I would say like a good thing to talk about. But Iman Shumpert and Teyana Taylor, I'm not sure if you guys have seen in the media. I always tread lightly when it comes to topics like this, because I have made it my mission as a journalist and just my respect for the culture to just not be messy. I want when people, to do interviews with me or they come to my platform, that they know that I have integrity, that, I'm just speaking on the facts, speaking on the truth, and not, being one-sided. There's always two sides to a story, and then there's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Two things can be right at the same time. So anytime that I'm reporting on something that's sensitive or just not in the best light, I just want to make sure I make that disclaimer. I'm not here to clickbait. I don't need to do any of those things. Your vibe attracts your tribe, and my energy is pure. So I just want to make sure that when I'm talking about things, even if it's clip farmed, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know that my intentions, if you watch the whole video, you'll know that my intentions are pure when it comes to talking about things that aren't the most positive. But Iman Shumpert and Teyana Taylor, they filed for a divorce. I'm not sure if it already had taken place or whatever, but I did see that Teyana had did a post probably a few weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, where it was my first time ever seeing this. I think that when they first broke up, I will say from what I saw from Teyana Taylor, that she tried to say, hey, don't come for, her bestie. It seemed for publicly like she tried to keep things, under wraps. But things kind of started to leak a little bit more and more, but some information came out about their divorce and about who got what in the divorce and how much child support. But it was my first time actually seeing Teyana address the things that she had got, the cars that she was able to keep, the houses, and she was saying that she was Teyana Taylor before Iman Shumpert was even in the NBA. Like, Teyana Taylor's been around since MTV Sweet 16. She's been around, so she was basically defending the fact that, she didn't need Iman's assets or money to sustain, and that he wrecked her Rolls Royce, a couple of different things. That came out, and at the end of that video, she was like, yo, I just want to get my back blown out in peace, or something like that, pause. And, it was just this not random, but also in that video, she said it seems like every time that she's leveling up or doing something to ascend in her career, that there's always something negatively coming out about her relationship. And when I look at Teyana's career, I like, first and foremost, make some noise for Teyana Taylor. Huge inspiration. Like I said, I wanted my Sweet 16 to be like hers. I think she's incredible, incredibly talented. And you think about like her journey through the industry from Pharrell, from MTV Sweet 16, from Pharrell and Ice Cream. I even heard in an interview that she would have had an opportunity to sign with Beyonce because she was doing choreography. And after leaving the Neptunes and then ending up with Good Music, I thought, oh, this is going to be lit. Tiana's the first lady of good music. You know what I'm saying? And then how that kind of like happened, and how she was kind of upset with the Rose of Harlem, thing. And I think she made her, announcements to, stop making music and focus on her auntie's production. And, she had another boyfriend in the NBA, and, their love story, the TV show that they had and everything. But, it's pictures are one thing, reality sets in. And just the navigation of what she's been able to do to, get to this point. And I think that it's just dope to continue to see her grow. Even when she did her collaboration of the Rose and Harlem Jordans that came out. And now she has a film with Leonardo DiCaprio, Met Gala, going crazy, hosted the Met Gala. Now she's dating the guy from The Lion King. What is that Lion King guy's name? I know the name. I don't know, like, respectfully, I do not. I know his name. I'm drawing a blank because I'm kind of going down a tangent of, just Teyana Taylor. But anywho, yeah, she just recently did something with the Met Gala, but basically what actually transpired with Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert is that Iman Shumpert wants Teyana Taylor to go to jail for 20 days for discussing their divorce on social media. Teyana says that every time she has something good going, like the Met Gala or like, something with her film that's coming out with Leonardo DiCaprio that's out already, it's always some drama amidst when she's trying to do something. She feels like it's intentional. To say that you want your baby moms in jail, I don't know Iman Shumpert, like I said. Like, I just think fairness in general. I don't think that Teyana would want her Iman in jail if I thought about it the other way around. But to say you want the mother of your child, he lost endorsements, he lost deals, and things like that. I just think that it's messy. I hate to see these types of things spill out. I pray that they could keep it private. And then also, like I said, we've already seen Teyana go through a lot. Not that it's about a pity party for her, but she has been through a lot in this industry. And it's amazing to see her get her roses right now because a lot of people don't get them. But I pray that they can figure it out. Like I said, it is a little messy to hear about. So yeah, I pray that everything gets, resolved with that. And let's not send Teyana Taylor to jail. I don't think that any of us want that, like that's not the type of energy, especially around Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and also too, hey, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Teyana Taylor. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. You know what I'm saying? Happy Mother's Day to my mom, mommy. I love you so much. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't be here without you. My bestie, my twin. I love you. Love your soul. Thank you for everything. I wouldn't be here without you. Yeah, right after Mother's Day, hearing about that, man, that was kind of nutty or whatever. And also, yeah, that was nutty. I didn't like that at all. But speaking of Mother's Day, there were some NBA games over the weekend. I don't have all the exact dates, but I'm going to run through some of the stats over the weekend. So the Wolves did beat the Warriors 102-97. AE had 28 points. Julius Randle had 23 points. So let's make some noise for the Wolves. They did play without Steph Curry. So yeah, that was a pretty decent game. The Celtics beat the Knicks. It was the Celtics, they missed a lot of 3-pointers in the previous game, but the Celtics beat the Knicks 115-93. Jason Tatum was going crazy. Like, it was just like there's waterfalls. Just all it was waterfalls. The Thunder beat the Nuggets 92-87. That was a really, really great game. SGA had 19 points. The series is now tied 2-2. And then the Pacers beat the Cavaliers 129-109. I'm not gonna lie, it was at one point, I think it was the second quarter, it was like 70-30. I was like, God damn, like this shit is crazy. But that's the NBA stats recap. The finals WNBA season is coming up. Excited about the season. Asia Wilson just dropped from the Las Vegas Aces, just dropped the Asia one. So those look really, really dope. Make sure y'all check that out. And like I said, I got to get on my dual fantasy DraftKings, doing my bets and stuff like that, trying to stay tapped in, sports coverage and all those things. If you want to book me to do some sports coverage or events, let me know. Tasmania Show, you already know what it is. But also too, this was some information that I saw right when I was coming into my office and everything, that they said that Tory Lanez was stabbed in prison and rushed to a hospital nearby. I don't know if it's non-life threatening or a critical condition. It's a lot of things coming up. I thought it was fake. Like I said, I think I seen it. It was like 28 minutes, 25 minutes ago. TMZ wasn't sure about how real it is, but he was stabbed on the yard. But I got it from Big Boy. Big Boy said that he's been trying to confirm all the details about it. I am, tapped in and familiar with Tory Lanez's family. I want to say shout out to Sunstar. Prayers up to, the family and everything. I really do hope that Tory's okay. That is not what I expected. And like I said, some people are going to feel different. Some people, we're in an era where, or on the internet, everybody has a platform and they feel like they can say whatever, but that's still somebody's son, somebody's father, somebody's, brother, somebody's nephew, grandson, you name it. And where in one breath we'll look at them as such a bad person. There's people that are out there that are advocating for another narrative, with everything that he has going on. So regardless of what he's in prison for, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And I know that there are probably going to be some people that, I just pray that it doesn't get messy. Like I said, I'm here to just give my perspective of what's going on, not keeping it bias, sharing my truth, sharing my facts, and sharing my story. But definitely prayers up for Tory. That is not good news. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So I hope that, by the next time that I do this episode, I can give you guys my next episode, I can give you guys an update. Lastly, but I don't know if I talked about this in my last podcast, but I want to say, that was not the sound that I was looking for, y'all. There we go. This feels very New Yorkish. Yeah, trying different sounds. So, but still, make some noise for Westside Gunn from Griselda. So Westside Gunn, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? I love Benny the Butcher, love Conway, love everything they got coming out of Buffalo, New York. Griselda man, you know, if anybody knows, Westside Gunn is just a tastemaker, a curator, just a fly guy. You know what I'm saying? If you know about his series and everything, from art to fashion, you name it. And he had this series that he did on YouTube, documentary series, really dope. I think now if I'm not mistaken, I think he's doing some work with Saucony or designing or something like that. But Westside Gunn, recent, I don't know how recent this is, but he's a huge wrestling fan. I don't know if this is in collaboration with Smoke DZA, but they have a black-owned wrestling league called the Fourth Rope. You know what I'm saying? So make some noise for that. A black-owned wrestling league. I know a lot of us go to WrestleMania and we check out WWE. I know growing up, like I like The Undertaker, you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kane, you know, Scotty 2 Hotty, Rey Mysterio Jr. Like I was a huge wrestling fan. And I know that Westside Gunn is, so he created, you know, they say that if you can't open the door, create one. So I think that what's going on is so amazingly disruptive. You could look at what Ice Cube was doing with the Big Three. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't just have to look at the NBA. You look at what now Westside Gunn is doing with wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like, look what Cam and Mace are doing with It Is What It Is. Like, we are in disruptive times where you can create your own world. Streamer University, Kai Cenat, you name it. It's just a lot of ways and opportunities for you to figure out how to, like, if you can't get inside the industry that you want to get into, just kick the door down. You don't have to wait. If you want to be on the radio, be on TV, get your camera, do whatever you got to do. But it's super amazing. It's called the Fourth Rope Wrestling League. So some of the fighters from the Fourth Rope League, I figured it'd be nice to mention them because I don't know everyone. But Joe Alonzo, Cha-Cha Charlie, Real One, and Nick Nemeth. The Hardys versus the New Guys. This was all at South by Southwest. AJ Francis and Max Caster. So they had a stage at South by Southwest. I think that's pretty cool. They had Big Crit performing. So I'm excited to see how the wrestling culture shapes up, looking at the wrestling shirts and things like that. I just think it's really amazing, like I said, to see how hip-hop is influencing sports. It's always been a thing, from Allen Iverson and Jadakiss, you know, from everything Steve Stout did with Translation and what United Masters now is doing. So I think that it's incredible. And just speaking of brands and collaborations, again, if you're interested in collaborating with the Tasmania Show and you want to advertise, interviews, press coverage, you name it, sports, all that, contact me at Tasmania Show. That's on Instagram. That's on YouTube. That's on TikTok. You can email me at tasmaniashow@gmail.com. You guys also do know that I am a real estate investor, and if you want to chop it up with me, tap in with me. If you have off-market properties, if you have fixers or anything that I could flip or anything like that, something that I could show some TLC to, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Some TSA to, you know? You can text me at 814-648-9403, or you can email me at taz@flipper, FLIPUR.IO. And this episode of the Tasmania Show is brought to you by Tide Water, the best natural spring water. You know I'm from VA. You know it's something in the water. Taz Tycoon, your ladies' favorite rapper. Shout out Tazzy's Baddies. I'll see y'all again. Make sure y'all be consistent. Your vibe attracts your tribe. If you don't got good energy, stay your ass inside. I got a family to feed. Gotta keep planting these seeds. Always extended my hand. Nothing was handed to me. I stuck to my script. They sending me scripts. This shit was planned to be. I had to stick to my plan A. Now everybody can see. Tide water flooding these streets. Shorty go dumb in the sheets. It's 1500 or it ain't nothing. Josh going dumb on these beats.